Everybody, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami daily class. And today class will be given by Her Grace Sridevi Mataji. And she will be giving class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse 53, which is the last verse of this wonderful chapter. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. You are on mute, Mataji.
Can
So
you
with
hear?
your, yes, can hear you, Mataji.
Okay. Okay.
So with your permission, I will share the screen.
Mhm. Dear devotees, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our Guru Maharaj. Today, Guru Maharaj has given instructions for this class to be held like this. So I humbly beg for your merciful blessings, your prayers, your well wishes, so that I can do justice to this service that has been given to me today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you, Vrindavanath Prabhu. Yes, we are on the very last verse of this chapter. Hari Bol. We will now move on to Canto 2, Chapter 8. So today is the very last verse. Brahma is speaking to Narad Muni, and it goes like this. Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse number 53. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. मायां वर्णयतो मुष्य ईश्वरस्यानुमोदतः शृण्वता श्रद्धया नित्यं माययात्मानमुह्यति. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Lord's activities in association with His different energies should be described, appreciated, and heard in accordance with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. If this is done regularly with devotion and respect, one is sure to get out of the illusory energy of the Lord. Purport. The science of learning a subject matter seriously is different from the sentiments of fanatics. Fanatics or fools may consider the Lord's activities in relation with the external energy to be useless for them, and they may falsely claim to be higher participants in the internal energy of the Lord. But factually, the Lord's activities in relation with the external energy and the internal energy are equally good. On the other hand, those who are not completely free from the clutches of the Lord's external energy should devoutly hear regularly about the activities of the Lord in relation with the external energy. They should not foolishly jump up to the activities of the Lord's internal energy, falsely attracted by such activities as his Ras Leela. The chief reciters of the Bhagavatam are very much enthusiastic about the activities of the Lord's internal potency, and the pseudo devotees absorbed in material sense enjoyment falsely jump to the stage of liberated souls and thus fall down deeply into the clutches of external energy. Some of them think that to hear about the pastimes of the Lord means to hear about his activities with the gopis or about his pastimes like lifting the Govardhan hill. And they have nothing to do with the Lord's plenary expansions as Purushavatars and their pastimes of the creation, maintenance, or annihilation of the material worlds. But a pure devotee knows that there is no difference between the pastimes of the Lord, either in Ras Leela or in creation, maintenance, or destruction of the material world. Rather, the descriptions of such activities of the Lord as the Purushavatars are specifically meant for persons who are in the clutches of the external energy. Topics like the Ras Leela are meant for the liberated souls and not for the conditioned souls. The conditioned souls, therefore, must hear with appreciation and devotion the Lord's pastimes in relationship with the external energy, and such acts are as good as the hearing of Ras Leela in the liberated stage. A conditioned soul should not imitate the activities of liberated souls. Lord Sri Chaitanya never indulged in hearing the Ras Leela with ordinary men. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Science of God, the first 9 cantos prepare the ground for hearing the 10th canto. This will be further explained in the last chapter of this canto. In the 3rd canto, it will be more explicit. A pure devotee of the Lord, therefore, must begin reading or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning and not from the 10th canto. We have several times been requested by some so-called devotees to take up the 10th canto immediately, but we have refrained from such an action because we wish to present Srimad Bhagavatam as the science of Godhead and not as a sensuous understanding for conditioned souls. This is forbidden by such authorities as Sri Brahmaji. By reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam as a scientific presentation, the conditioned souls will gradually be promoted to the higher status of transcendental knowledge after being freed from the illusory energy based on sense enjoyment. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurume Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Yuto Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते चंद्रमौली स्वामिनीति नामिने नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So here, categorically, emphatically, and clearly, Srila Prabhupada is establishing how one must approach the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it is a scientific presentation of the subject matter of the science of God. His activities, his pastimes, his creation, his maintenance, his destruction of these material worlds are on the same level as his Ras Leela or his Balya Leela or his other Leelas, because Krishna and his activities are on the absolute platform. His name is non-different from him. His form is non-different from him. His qualities are non-different from him. And his pastimes are non-different from him. So it doesn't matter whether we are hearing about how the Purushavatars have appeared and what are their functions. It doesn't matter whether we are hearing about Bhagavad Gita, Kurukshetra, and the battlefield where Lord Krishna is giving advice and wise counsel to Arjun, or whether he is like a little naughty boy doing childhood pranks in Vrindavan, or even as a little baby killing Putana, Shakatashura, and all these demons, Varta. He was only a little baby. But he was performing such superhuman, extraordinary, inconceivable pastimes, even as a little baby. So the Lord is always the Lord. He may appear as a baby, but he comes with all his potencies. And that same Supreme Lord, who is play acting like a little baby in Mother Yashoda's arms, sucked out the life of Putana demon, who was a huge witch, 8 miles long or something like that was her body. She was like a hill when she fell down on the ground after she was killed by Krishna. So such a huge demon, this little baby Krishna looking like, a newborn baby, practically just 10 days old or so, he killed the witch Putana. Then as a little boy, he plays naughty little pranks in Vrindavan, stealing the garments of the gopis, stealing butter, entering into the gopis' homes, blocking their path when going to Mathura, causing so much havoc for the gopas and gopis, and enchanting all the residents of Vrindavan. Then even further grown up, he is the cousin of the Pandavas, and he is accompanying them through all their difficult life situations. That time he's like a young man, but he's the same Krishna. And then from his body comes Lord Balaram. From Balaram comes Chaturvyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. From these first Chaturvyuha, we have all the Narayans, who are the presiding deities of the Vaikuntha planets. From one Narayan comes the second Chaturvyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. Here he is called Mahasankarshan. The first Chaturvyuha is called Moola Sankarshan. From this Mahasankarshan then comes the Purushavatars. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, like this. So all these then go on to create the material worlds. So all these are very fascinating, very wonderful, very inconceivable pastimes of the Lord. Just think, Mahavishnu, simply by breathing out, uncountable universes are generated from the skin holes. Prabhupada calls the pores on the skin of the Lord, skin holes of the body of the Lord. They come out like little bubbles. And these are actually universes. Then he re-enters as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and then again into every single atom, every single molecule, every single entity, every single subject of matter. Even between the atoms, he again enters as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. So such is the potency of the Lord. He's the smallest of the smallest, highest of the highest, greatest of the greatest, heaviest of the heaviest, most beautiful, most powerful, most intelligent, most wise, most renounced. All the opulences are in Krishna. So, those who do not admit to the supremacy of the Lord, they consider, oh, these are all just, myths or legends or stories or pastimes. We want to hear something titillating. We want to hear something that, there's masala in it. This is called jumping over. And this is to be thoroughly condemned because this is not on the right platform of admitting and seeing the Lord with awe and reverence and veneration and love and adoration and worship. This is a very wrong attitude that people throughout you will notice this mostly in the subcontinent of India, because people know about the pastimes of the Lord and they jump to the 10 canto Ras Leela and they think, if Krishna can do it, I can do it too. And so many godmen, cheaters, babajis, with some little mystic powers, they capture the minds of women and they enslave them through hypnotism and so on, and simply make a harem of all these women for their own sense gratification. And after a few years, they are caught, thrown into jail, and the whole story begins again with some other cheater. So this cheating business is not the real thing. And Srila Prabhupada wants us to understand that the Srimad Bhagavatam has come to deliver mankind from the darkness of ignorance by giving complete knowledge of everything. Let's go to the 2.10.1, where everything sarga, visarga, sthanam, poshanam, utaya, nigrodha, mantvantara, ishanukatha, mukti, ashraya, all 10 subjects are covered in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Can we go to Canto 2, Chapter 10, verse 1? The Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. That is the chapter. And if we look at that chapter, you will see in the very first verse, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the subject matter covered in the Srimad Bhagavatam encompasses everything.
So
2,
Mataji,
10, 1. There we go. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions of statements regarding the following: creation of the universe, sub-creation, the planetary systems, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of manus, the science of God, Vishanu Katha, returning home back to Godhead, and liberation and Sumam Vonam. So you can see throughout the Bhagavatam, we will find all these subject matters. It's not that first canto is only the second canto, but generally speaking, Sthanam is the third canto, Poshanam is the fourth, like that. And here we are looking at second canto, chapter 7, verse number 53, which is the very last chapter. Brahmaji. I'm going to see why I should wear all this. Hare Krishna, can you hear me clearly? Can you see me and hear me clearly even without all this?
Mataji, everything is fine.
Oh, good, good. So, fanatics and fools. Why? Because they want to get fooled. Srila Prabhupada said, those who get cheated want to get cheated. That's why Krishna provides them with all these false, so-called God men, God women, and so on, because they want to take things very cheaply.
Prabhupada said, God is not so cheap thing. Huh? You pay 10,000 rupees and you take this thread and you become Brahmana and you just close your eyes and I will give you mantra. Oh, what mantra you like? I've heard this many times. My guru told me, which God you like? And then I said, this is my Ishtadev. And so then he gave me this Shiva mantra. Oh, I said, I like Krishna. So he gave me this mantra. It's like this. This is cheating business. Huh? It is simply cheating business. In exchange of money, give some mantra and claim that this will take you to Godhead. That is why Srila Prabhupada came as the pure devotee of the Lord to give us pure knowledge, which will not mislead us, but which will guide us back home, back to Godhead, which will tell us who we really are and what we are supposed to do and what is the kingdom of God and what is this material world. It is just 1/4 of God's creation, and the spiritual world is 3/4 of God's creation, and that is the world we actually belong to, which is full of light. This material world is a dark, cold planet. That is why there is need for sun, moon, electricity, and so on. But the spiritual planets are self-effulgent by the mercy of the Lord's bodily effulgence. There is no birth and death and diseases and old age. There is simply bliss and happiness of loving Krishna, and there is complete unity of all the living entities there because they have only one aim, to love and serve Krishna. That is it. Nothing else. But here we have come out of rebellion of Krishna, and therefore we are trying to compete with Krishna. And there are many competitors, as we mentioned, these false gods, false Babajis, false saints, sages. They mislead the people by trapping. They themselves are trapped by the material energy and they lead people down the wrong path. So Srila Prabhupada writes, they are blind and they lead others into the blind well and they all fall down into that blind well. Let's go to 7:5:31, I believe. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. I think it's 7:5:31. Let's check. If not, we'll Google it and find. Yeah, there we go. So there you will see persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached men led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering threefold miseries. So you see how careful we must be to hear from the right source. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is described as a ripened fruit of Vedic literature, the cream of the cream, carefully handed down to us, not just dropped down from the branch so that it will break, but carefully handed down by the Guru Parampara disciplic succession from hand to hand to hand. This is most important point to understand. Why? Because then we know we are hearing from the bona fide authorities. Let's go back, Vrindavanath Prabhu, to our original. Yeah. So when we take the knowledge from the right source, we are going to get knowledge. We are going to get purified. We are going to get clarity of vision. We are going to get clear direction. And we are going to proceed on the path back home, back to Godhead. And not keep rotating lost souls in this material world, going up and down on the Ferris wheel. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka. From up to down, all are places of misery. Which is that verse? Abrahma Bhuvana Loka. Punar Avartino Arjuna. Can we go to that one? That is Bhagavad Gita 8:15 maybe? I don't know. Just look it up. I've forgotten. Brahma Bhuvana Loka. 16, sorry, not 15. 16. Okay. Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Krishna says the same thing in Bhagavad Gita 4:9. What does he say? Janma karma cha me divyam yo janati tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. Let's go to 4:9 also, Prabhu. Very beautiful verse, and it's considered the most important in terms of understanding that if we understand the transcendental nature of the Lord's pastimes, we will not take birth here again. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. And now you see why it is extremely, extremely essential for our spiritual life to regularly, devotedly hear from the right source. The right source is Srimad Bhagavatam, the ripened fruit of the Vedic literatures, the Amala Purana. It is the topmost of all literatures because it simply describes pure devotional service to the Lord and nothing else. So, one should devoutly hear regularly with devotion and with respect. Then one will be freed of the clutches of illusory energy and come to know what is what. Prabhupada writes in Gita, devotees know what is what. Because one develops powers of discrimination to understand the difference between Maya and the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, so we are told how to approach this also step by step. Prabhupada writes in the introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, one should not jump, one should not go haphazardly, but should undertake the science of God's study step by step, going through the cantos one after the other, and not jump to the 10th canto just to titillate the senses and get some cheap thrills, or even, God forbid, try to imitate God by engaging in all nefarious, illegal, immoral, illicit activities. This is what happens when we are not led by the right person. They are misleading themselves and others. Can we go further down into the purport? I want to see the other points. Yes, the cheap reciters are very much enthusiastic to talk about this Ras Leela. Oh, God is, enjoying himself with so many women. He's dancing, he's touching, he's kissing, he's loving them. We can also do the same thing. But these fools don't understand that there is no tinge of material lust in the spiritual world. None whatsoever. It is simply pure love. Just as Mother Yashoda's love is pure maternal love, the gopis' love is pure love for their lover without any trace of selfish personal sense enjoyment. We cannot understand all these things. We are not there. We just, if you can just chant our 16 rounds nicely, we have done something for the day. So at our level, we should not worry about Ras Leela and all these things. They are very, very, very high subject matters for exalted, elevated souls. But we must know that hearing from the right source is important. And one must not take things cheaply. So, you may say, Mataji, then why the Ras Leela is there? Because the Lord is complete, his pastimes are complete, and therefore the Srimad Bhagavatam is complete, is giving complete information. But we may not be ready to receive it. Just as a small baby, it can't take solid foods, at 3 months of age or 2 months of age. It needs to mature. That's why first the baby is given milk, right? So similarly, slowly, we must advance in Krishna consciousness, following step by step the procedures given by the great authorities, especially our spiritual masters. A conditioned soul should not imitate the activities of liberated souls. That is why guidance by the spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So, under the guidance of the spiritual master, one gets initiated, that is known as bhajana kriya. And under his instructions and guidance, one slowly starts getting rid of all the dirty things in the heart and becomes steady after doing what is called anartha nivritti. That means getting rid of unwanted things in the heart. That is called anartha nivritti. This can be only done under the guidance of Guru. Just as we go to engineering college and submit ourselves to the teachers, to the faculty, to the professors, etc., similarly, to assimilate spiritual knowledge and make advancement in spiritual life, we must submit ourselves very humbly before the spiritual master, humbly begging for his mercy. My dear spiritual master, I am simply a conditioned soul. I have rotted in this material world, taking birth again and again for gazillions of lifetimes. You have come into my life. I do not deserve your mercy. I deserve to simply continue rotting. But you are so merciful that you have come to pick me up from this ocean of nescience. Please help me. Please guide me. Please shower me with your mercy so that I may engage in this process of devotional service and please you and therefore please Krishna. One must be very humble, very cognizant of one's fallen, degraded position before the spiritual master and always be in the mood of a beggar. I'm begging for mercy, my Gurudev. I don't know anything. Prabhupada said, in front of the spiritual master, disciple is like a blank slate. I do not know anything, Gurudev. Please enlighten me. This is the approach we must have to these great transcendental personalities who have come from the spiritual world just to save us. So, these 10 cantos, actually in the material world, there is only 12 cantos, but in the higher realms, there are many, many more cantos, many, many more, pastimes which we do not have access to right now. But the Srimad Bhagavatam is Amal Purana. And for our, understanding, only 12 cantos are there. But Srimad Bhagavatam is a very, very vast literature. And in higher planetary systems, even more cantos are there. So first 9 cantos prepare the ground for hearing the 10th canto. The 10th canto is compared to the Lord's beautiful smiling face. So we are encouraged first to meditate on his lotus feet, which is canto 1 and 2. Then his legs is canto 3. His thighs, I think, are canto 4. 5th is his navel. 6th is his chest. 7th and 8th are his arms. 9th is his throat. 10th is his beautiful smiling face. 11th is his forehead. And 12th is his head. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna. And by systematic study of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can come to know Krishna, the science of God. Prabhupada said this is not sentimental, foolish stuff. This is a science. And by careful study, by carefully following the orders of Guru, we will get out of the illusory energy of the Lord and we will come to a clear understanding of creation, of ourselves, who is God, what is our relationship, what are we supposed to do, and we will slowly begin advancing towards the goal of human life, which is perfect self-realization and perfect devotion to Krishna and attain the highest perfection of life. For this, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayina. What is the meaning of what I said? Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana, one pointed. Which was that? 241. Let's go to 241. It's a very instructive verse. Bhagavad Gita. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila states, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudrida Nishchaya Krishne Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Haya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family, traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane. For they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad, and therefore we do not accrue any more karma. Haribol! Freedom! This is so wonderful, isn't it? By engaging in the activities of Krishna consciousness, we are gradually getting out of the net that has entangled us for millions of lifetimes, and we are becoming free. We are becoming free from the clutches of the illusory energy, and we are coming closer and closer to our natural position, which is loving servitorship to Krishna. We are coming closer and closer to eternality, bliss, and knowledge. This is the nature of the soul. So soul is who we really are. 1/10,000 the tip of a hair, more brilliant than a million suns. That's who you really are. So hope all these things are clear. Maybe we can stop over here and open up for questions, comments, discussions.
Thank you, Mataji, for a very amazing class with so many pointers which you highlighted, which really highlight the importance of focusing like guru, shelter, then focusing one resolute determination, faith on Krishna, real guidance, and why we should be really careful about hearing these Shrimad Bhagavatam or this from the right authorities. So thank you very much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, please you can raise your hand or you can type in chat window. I will read on your behalf. Also, my humble request, if you can switch on your video, please. That would be really, really appreciable. Thank you. So, Mataji, while devotee come up with the questions, I have here one question. I completely agree, Prabhupada view that we should go systematically reading Bhagavatam or hearing Bhagavatam in sequence. So we understand the first, the basics, I would say, to lead to the real bhakti or real, in Canto 10. But I got this question actually from somebody just recently, that why then Prabhupada wrote Krishna book, which is just directly composition of Canto 10, and we distribute that book very much.
Very nice question. So Prabhupada was at that point not sure whether he would be able to live that long in order to complete the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he was thinking that still the devotees need to know Krishna's pastimes, because this is the sweetest and most wonderful part of Krishna Leela. And so he wanted to give that in a very proper way, not leaving it to all these, mischief makers and mischief mongers to do mischief with the Srimad Bhagavatam and present Ras Leela in a very sensuous enjoyment style of presentation. So therefore, Prabhupada took up this monumental task to give us even the 10th canto in such a way that we are getting purified and not titillated. Prabhupada writes clearly the lusty desires of the gopis, how by hearing these pastimes, our own lusty desires will decrease, etc. So this is my understanding. If you have come to know something more, please do share it with us, because I may not be able to present the complete picture.
No, I think you are right, Mataji. But that discussion also, like somewhere with one senior devotee, like that was also somewhere not very clearly. Kind of answer he gave was quite similar, but devotee question was still like in his mind that, or in her mind that, like it conflicts with Prabhupada basics, things that it should not be. And then we are distributing those books very openly to people. Either it should be giving with that, kind of message that if you have read Canto 1 to 9, then please, read this Krishna book. But point was that this book is being distributed very, very, with high emphasis. Especially, I have seen also in many centers, especially in Kartik, Damodar month and all, they distribute Krishna book to the new families who don't have any idea about even Srimad Bhagavatam.
So what is the reason that Prabhupada did that? Did he explain that?
No, Mataji, could not get that answer there also.
We can ask Gurudev. I think it's a very important question, what you have said. We must get complete clarity on why Srila Prabhupada, he actually stopped and wrote this 10th canto because he wasn't sure whether he would live that long. I think he didn't want to leave it to others. But we'll check it. Let's not.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sadhi Mataji, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, Hare Krishna, and thank you very much for today's class. Why didn't Canto 11 and 12 also was translated or write the purport by Srila Prabhupada? Because he was
my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Because Srila Prabhupada did not live that long. He could only complete 10th canto up to 14th chapter. And he was no longer on the planet, and therefore his disciples undertook the task of completing the rest of 10th canto as well as 11th and 12th cantos.
I hope, Sadhi Mataji, you're okay with the answer because, yeah, you're on mute, Mataji. I can't see probably.
Thank you.
Prabhupada was always cognizant that, he would say, I'm an old man. I can go anytime. You must push on this movement. You must carry on this movement. He would say that at many different times, stressing the importance that he was an old man and anytime anything could happen. Still, Prabhupada, in spite of suffering 2 heart attacks in 1965 on board the Jaladuta, he undertook this monumental mission of establishing Krishna consciousness in the Western world. In spite of suffering 2 heart attacks and being 70 years old. Not a small thing to be at that age, to travel across the continents and oceans, to come to a new country, knowing no one, having no money, having no connections, absolutely no support. Just imagine what Prabhupada has done. And then his health was always, imagine coming to a cold country like America where there's snow. Prabhupada had never seen snow. He never experienced this kind of bitter cold. He lived in India, which was a hot country. The sun was always there. And for him to undergo those trials and tribulations, can you imagine what it must have been like? So Prabhupada was very aware. In fact, he suffered a third heart attack in 1967, and he thought, I don't know what is going to happen. He asked all the devotees to pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, if you so desire, please let my spiritual master continue, because he has not finished his work. Because he had not done, and he knew that his fledgling disciples needed to have a solid base for Krishna consciousness. They needed those books of knowledge. They needed temples. They needed deity worship. So many things were to be done. And Prabhupada had just come. It was only 2 years in America. So then a doctor told the devotees, the old man, he prays too much. He needs to get out, get some exercise. That's how the famous morning walks began. And Prabhupada later on said, my morning walks, my daily Ayurvedic oil massage, and my Ayurvedic medicine gave me 10 more years. He would have gone, But Prabhupada extended his life by taking all precautions, taking all care. And thankfully, so much happened because Prabhupada was still on the planet for another 10 years, 10, 12 years. From 65 to 77, 12 years, Srila Prabhupada circled the globe 14 times, non-stop, breakneck speed. He had to establish Krishna consciousness. So he was working, like unbelievable. Sleeping 1-2 hours, sacrificing sleep just to give us Srimad Bhagavatam, just to establish this Krishna consciousness. When we think about all these things, what Prabhupada has done, it arouses a sense of urgency in us too. We must do our best before time runs out. How much time we have, we don't know. Isn't it, Vrindavan Nath?
Yes, Mataji. Don't know about the next moment.
Exactly.
This point, Mataji, what you said always, like reminds me, and I always like feel and meditate many times that what Yudhishthir also answered, the biggest adventure or surprise of this, like everybody feels that they are not going to die, they are going to live here for long, forever. So they digest. I
Truth
agree.
is,
Like
any moment, anything can happen. Any moment. Jivana, what is that? Komala Jaladala Jivana Talamala Bhajahu Re Mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindari Durlava Manava Junama Satsange Taro He Bhava Sindhuri. Take shelter. Take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. That is the only place of fearlessness, because life is tottering. In that, there's a particular. Let's go to the song's translation, Vrindavanath. Such a beautiful translation where it says, your life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Any moment, gone. Huh? So our life is so precarious in this material world. Let us use it to become Krishna conscious, fully Krishna conscious in this very lifetime. Why? So that we are minimizing the chance of repeated birth and death. At least even if we don't make it back home in this lifetime, at least whatever we have gained in this life will never go away. It is in your eternal bank account. Oh mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which make one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. Both day and night I remain sleepless, suffering heat and cold, wind and rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. is the great desire and longing of Govindas to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari, chanting those glories, constantly remembering him, offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving him as a servant, worshipping him with flowers, incense, so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Atma Nivedanam. That's the final. Because these are all very exalted stages of bhakti. We must understand we are at a very, neophyte stage. If we can just chant our 16 rounds nicely every day and simply follow the instructions, whatever has been given to us, we are doing pretty good. Given that we are living in a very bad age. But at least we must try.
So there is one question. Thank you, Mataji. There is one question from Bhagyashi Mataji and Pavani Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, sometimes my classmates that are not Indian ask me what makes Krishna your supreme lord. I just remain silent.
Hare Krishna, my dear Bhagyashri and Pavani, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Such a nice question for you to preach, Pavani. You can ask them. Well, you can tell them Krishna is not just my Supreme Lord, he is everyone's Supreme Lord because he is God. Why is he God? Because he is full in 6 opulences. He's the strongest, he's the wealthiest, he's the most famous, he's the most wise, he's the most renounced. What else? Which is the 6th one? Strength, wealth, beautiful. He's the most beautiful. That's why he's God. There are many people who may be very rich. Some of them may be very beautiful. Some of them may be very powerful. Some of them may be wise. But can anyone claim to have all 6 opulences in full at the same time? No. That's only God. Only God has that position. And that's why he is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Is that all right? Yes, and also never diminishing. These qualities are always increasing. Krishna is not a static personality. All his wonderful qualities, his beauty, his enchanting pastimes, his strength, his wealth, everything is ever increasing without stopping. That's Krishna. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. His beauty is so mesmerizing. His flute play is so sweet, enchanting. Adharam Madhuram. How does that song go, Vrindavan Nath Prabhu? Can you pull up the words for us? Such a beautiful song. Everything about Krishna is so sweet. His gait is sweet. His smile is sweet. His flute playing is sweet. Everything about Lord Krishna is super sweet. Adharam Madhuram. Gamanam Madhuram. Hasitam Madhuram. Like this, there are all the characteristics of Lord Krishna are described as super sweet. You sing to them, Pavani, and tell them. Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, Hridayam Madhuram, Gamanam Madhuram, Madhuradhipate Akhilam Madhuram, Vachanam Madhuram, Charitam Madhuram, Vasanam Madhuram, Valitam Madhuram, Chalitam Madhuram, Brahmitam Madhuram, Madhuradhipate Akhilam Madhuram, Venur Madhuro, Renur Madhura, Panir Madhura, Padav Madhuro, Nityam Madhuram, Sakyam Madhuram, Madhuradhipate Akhilam Madhuram, Geetam Madhuram, Pitam Madhuram, Bhuktam Madhuram, Suptam Madhuram, Rupam Madhuram, Tilakam Madhuram, मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं करणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं रमणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं रिष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम. So Pavani, that's your next Bharatnatyam dance performance. Bharatnatyam dance is a very beautiful art form glorifying Krishna, and Pavani is learning to become very expert in that. Let's go to translation of that, Vrindavanath. Pavani, you can sing this, you can dance this, you can say you want to know why Krishna is my Supreme Lord, come for my dance performance and hand out this song with the translation. His lips are sweet, his face is sweet, his eyes are sweet, his smile is sweet, his heart is sweet, his gait is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness. His words are sweet, his character is sweet, his dress is sweet, his belly folds are sweet, his movements are sweet, his wandering is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness. His flute is sweet, his foot dust is sweet, his hands are sweet, his feet are sweet, his dancing is sweet, his friendship is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness. You know what? All of us can take turns to read. Vrindavanath, please read the next one. And Shilpesh after that.
His singing is sweet, his yellow cloth is sweet, his eating is sweet, his sleeping is sweet, his beauty is sweet, his tilaka is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness.
His deeds are sweet, his liberating is sweet, his stealing is sweet, his love sports are sweet, his oblations are sweet, his tranquility is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness.
Would Dheeraj like to go and then Bhaktin Boni?
His golden berry necklace is sweet, his flower garland is sweet, his Yamuna river is sweet, his ripples are sweet, his water is sweet, his lotus are sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness.
Boni, do you think you can read? Okay, she doesn't seem to be there. Gauri Priya, you want to read?
Yes, of course. His gopis covered boys are sweet. His pastimes are sweet. His union is sweet. His food is sweet. His delight is sweet. His courtesy is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness.
Savedatri, you want to read the last one?
Yes. His gopas covered boy are sweet. His cows are sweet. His staff is sweet. His creation is sweet. His traveling is sweet. His fruitfulness is sweet. Everything is sweet about the Emperor of Sweetness.
Haribol!
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Isn't it wonderful to know about the Emperor of Sweetness, Pavani?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. There is one question from Sadhvi Mataji in the chat. Should I read, Sridevi Mataji?
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me when someone asks me, how do you know that you worship right God? I say because the very first written Shastra that had all the answers to my questions.
Right. Everything is there. Very true. Gives complete knowledge of Krishna. All we need is Krishna. All you need is love. You know, George Harrison, he
It
writes
is
in the
love.
Krishna book. Huh? Samyadatri?
No, I remember of this. All you need is love,
Yes,
love, love. Beatles.
Beatles. You know, Samyadatri first came across the Beatles song. She heard the Beatles and she got so enchanted. She was only 8 years old. And just hearing My Sweet Lord, something rose in her heart and she just began crying, thinking, where is this sweet Lord? I must find him. And many years later, she became Hare Krishna.
Many, many years later, yes, I have struggled very much.
Me too. But now we will never give up
Yes.
Krishna.
No, no,
Ever.
never.
All those struggles convinced us that there is nothing better than Krishna. Right?
Right.
Now there's no more going back. There's only going forward towards Krishna.
Yes.
And Lord Chaitanya has made it very easy. He says, come back home, come to me. So simple, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just by the simple 16-word chant, we can awaken pure love for Krishna. Isn't that unbelievable mercy? Simply by this chanting of Hare Krishna, we can go back home, back to Godhead.
Thank you, Mataji. Absolutely amazing. Yes, you are right. Like, just to add to what you said, if you don't mind, this is a human tendency to get attracted to something better, yeah, sweeter, better, powerful, beautiful, wealthy, whatever you call all the six opulence. And I feel general people, if we see in this world, they are all rushing or running behind the celebrities because somebody carries some power, some of this opulence, a little fraction of something, and then they are getting mad. And that's my response to sometimes people when they say that why you are so much about Krishna. I say yes, you are looking for everything like this, but just see who is the source supreme, who is the source of everything, and never diminishing. You can say today I am wealthy, but how long you can hold this chest to your chest? You can be beautiful, but how long? And this supreme Lord, he is like having full 100% of all these things what we are looking, fractions of this. And people are running behind this celebrity and they are eating pills to get just simple sleep. They
Right.
suffer from depression.
Right.
They are our
What
benchmark.
we, yeah, exactly. They are just fallible human beings like us.
Yeah,
Well, Krishna, everything about Krishna is sweet and it's ever increasing also at the same time.
absolutely. So nice. Thank you, Mataji. So, dear devotees, if you have any questions, last questions. Wonderful opportunity, wonderful topic today. Nice weather. In fact, like in UK, sunny weather, very rare entity here in UK. Some good karma Silpesh Prabhu did in previous life that we are getting sunny weather here.
Oh, not me, Prabhu. Definitely not me. Thank you.
Here
Thank you.
comes the sun. I say it's all right. It's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it's been so long since it's been here. But here comes the sun. I say it's all right. George Harrison wrote that in praise of Srila Prabhupada. Here comes the sun, because he brought the sunlight of knowledge to this dark, terrible place and saved us.
Thank you for the class, Sridevi Mataji. It's really helped me reconnect to Krishna because I'm feeling very disconnected lately. So it's a
Oh.
wonderful class, and it's just wonderful having the God family here as well. And I feel a bit more enthusiastic today now.
We aim to please the Vaishnavas. I'm happy that you are happy, Shilpesh Prabhu.
Thank you.
So with no further questions, Sridevi Mataji, with your permission, may I end this session?
Yes. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Vrindavan Prabhu. Thank you to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who gathered together in spite of knowing that Guru Maharaj will not be giving class. Still you came along. So I'm very grateful for your association, for your
It's
mercy
your
to me today.
nice lectures, Mataji. See, devotees turns up. When I give my name, 4 or 5 devotee comes. Sometimes those are also like, forceful request. Please, please do join. I have only myself. No, just. But thank
Not
you,
true.
Mataji.
Not true.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय,
Jai.
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai. Guru
गुरु महाराज
की
की
जय.
जय, हर
अनंत
ग्रेस
कोटि
श्रीदेवी
वैष्णव
माता
वृंद
जी
की
की
जय.
जय, अनंत कोटि
जय.
वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
Jai.
हरि बोल.
Thank you so much, Sridevi.